We begin today's discussion by paying obeisance at the lotus feet of Vignaharta, Bhagwan Shri Ganesh and Shri Krishna. Namaskar to all Hindu brothers and sisters. I advocate Amita Sachdeva. Conference is being organized from 10 to 12 September 2021. From the information available, we learn that many renowned universities are co-sponsors of this event. There are some serious points about this conference which each and every Hindu across the globe must take note of. As centers of learning, universities are places where values of free speech and free thought should be nurtured and protected. However, the people associated with this event have a long and open history of denying genocides perpetrated on Hindus by demeaning those who seek justice for Hindu victims of ethnic cleansing. This event will have far reaching detrimental effects on the students and staff of these universities. The organizers have included participants who are said to be scholars on the subject. The website of this event, dismantlinghinduism.com, mentions a field manual against Hindutva trolls, authored by South Asia Scholar Activist Collective (SASAC). A prominent member of SASAC has been accused of stalking social media accounts of parents of Hindutva who attended an event against Hinduphobia. It is ironic and unfortunate that people who find innovative ways to bully others pontificate about the evils of Hinduism on global fora. We shall discuss these issues in greater details in our today's discussion. I once again welcome you all to today's program, and to discuss this topic, we have some eminent speaker guests with us present in the program. We have with us Miss Maria Wirth. She's basically from Germany who came to Bharat on a stopover on her way to Australia after her studies and has remained here for more than 4 decades now. She visited the Earth Kumbh Mela in Haridwar in April 1980, where she met Shri Anandamayi Ma and Devara Baba, two renowned saints. With their blessings, she continued to live in Bharat and never went to Australia. She dived into Bharat's spiritual tradition, sharing her insights with German readers through articles and books. Later, she noticed that there seemed to be a collective effort to prevent even Indians from knowing how valuable this ancient Indian heritage is. She started to point out the unique value of Indian tradition, also in the English language, and shared them on her blog. Maria's book, Thank You India, a German woman's journey to the wisdom of yoga, narrates her spiritual journey and has motivated many young minds to follow the spiritual path. And we have with us Meenakshi Sharan ji. She is an avid historian and perpetually researches episodes where history was faulted to manufacture folk's narrative. She says history is the mother of future, and correct history is the debt we owe our future generations. Sorry. She has been very vocal on the atrocities on Hindus across the globe and tried to help needy Hindu refugees from neighboring countries. I welcome her to today's special talk. Also, we have with us Sri Sachchithananthan ji. He is a Hindu leader from Sri Lanka and is the founder of Shiv Sena, an organization which works for protection of Hindu community and temples. He is former UN officer. In September 2018, he participated in Vishwa Hindu Sammelan held in Chicago and exposed the pathetic condition of Hindus in Sri Lanka. Shri Sachchithananthan ji has been fighting for preserving customs and traditions followed under Hindu Dharma and for Hindus who have become minority in Sri Lanka. I welcome you to today's special talk. I welcome you all and also request to all the viewers who have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel Hindu Jagruti and follow our Twitter handle to get the latest updates. Now, my first question would be to Ms. Maria Wirth. Maria G, many universities are supporting this online conference. What do you feel is the agenda behind this conference, namely dismantling global Hindutva? Maria G.
I feel they are now just bringing out in the open what was always their goal. I feel sometimes Hindus don't realize that Christianity and Islam and the left, they all are after Hinduism. Hinduism and Hindutva is the same. Hindutva means Hinduness. They just try to make this division because they cannot attack, but there's also no difference. So I feel that they want to finish us off. It is a last ancient civilization and culture and religion which stands, and I mean, it's now out in the open. It takes the left as a kind of we're hiding it since 1,000 years that they want to get rid of us. So I feel this is one point we have to see. They have prepared it very, very. It had an effect. When I'm in Germany now, people react to me like, "What about Hindu fundamentalists?" I mean, people don't know anything. That's what are the fundamentals in Hinduism, that they are so beneficial, that is the only tradition which is all inclusive, which is not divisive, which is really interested in the truth, which really wants other religions. No? And so I feel they are now out in the open, and maybe we have not done our job well because they are so brazen now. So I feel we have to be more clear. Actually, it is not so shocking also, because media and academia, they work in tandem. I mean, Christianity has a lot of power in the West. Evangelicals especially, they have really made Hinduism look so bad, and especially Brahmins. And they have a almost military type of strategy. They have mapped us all. They are very, they know what they want to do. And we have still this attitude, they should respect us, we respect them. You know what I mean? We are not clear, we are not truthful also. How, or we are ignorant, I don't know. Because how can we respect a religion which claims that we are inferior, that the great God, they claim it is a one God, not their God, but the one God who has created everything, that he doesn't like us, that he sends us to hell for all eternity. How can he say, how can anybody claim something like this? And we never say it. We say, oh, we respect their religion. We have to, I think one point we have to be very clear. We should distinguish between a good part of every religion, which is also in Christianity and Islam, and the sense that there's a great power behind everything. And even Buddhism says, I mean, they don't call it God, or they don't call it great power, but there is something from which everything comes, even if you call this something nothing, because it's nothing also, no? It's not manifest. So in this way, yeah, this is a good part. And Christianity and Islam, they made this one God, where the Vedas have a very great knowledge about, great understanding. They have made this one God, they copied it, they took it, but they made it into a very tyrant type of thing, a jealous God. They openly say God is jealous. You must not worship any other God. And also means basically you must not use another name. And how can this be true? So the point is, when you grow up as a Christian or Muslim, of course you are happy because it speaks to you that there is a great God. It makes sense and you want to believe it also. And that's why it is difficult to get out. And this right, everybody should have. You worship your God in whatever way you want. You believe in him, you surrender him, in him you trust. But don't claim that this God is so and so and so, and he doesn't like Hindus. This is not acceptable. And Hindus should be very clear. I suggested a long time ago that actually Hindus should go to the United Nations and demand that these terms kafir and heathen are removed, because of course they are denoting something which is inferior, and they look down on us. It's open. So we have to be truthful and be very honest. On TV debates, we are now better, but still we are not really standing up for our tradition and exposing the negative aspects of the others. So, and I feel Hindus are the greatest believer, no? When they call us unbelievers, what nonsense. We have so much trust in Bhagwan. Yeah. So, I mean, any normal person, if he's not too brainwashed, must be able to see it. And we should approach the common sense of people. Of course, if there is an agenda, then it's very difficult to bring common sense in. But one aspect is...
Yes, Mariaji, you have very rightly said that some people really don't have an idea fundamentals of Hinduism. Sanatana Dharma teaches us how to live happily. Another noteworthy point is the inclusion of topics such as the failed demonetization policies and the ill-conceived agricultural reforms in the event. One cannot understand how government policies can be equated with Hindutva or any other religion for that matter. Mariaji, as it is very clear that this online conference, Dismantling Global Hindutva, is an anti-national and anti-Hindu conference. Does any religion allow to demean others? What should one to do to stop or ban these kind of anti-Hindu conferences? Please tell us about this, Mariaji.
We have already, I think some universities have said already that they are not involved. We should really call out all the universities, that is no doubt, and put our point very clearly. And that is absolutely unacceptable what they are doing. And if not, then we should also dismantle global Islam, dismantle global Christianity. I mean, if they don't, I mean, that would be the more logical thing even. I mean, I don't mean what I said earlier. By all means, worship God, trust in him. That is what is usually defined as religion. Religion does not include that you can insult me if I'm a Hindu. And this is happening. And this we have to make clear, that whether it's academia, media, or religions, padres or mullahs, they have no right to make claims about this one God whom they can't prove, which they can't prove, and which are demeaning to a great section of humanity, over 1 billion people. And Hindus, we have to, I feel what we don't do is we don't, I mean, Rajiv Malhotra has said it long ago, we have to drive the narrative. We are always reacting and we are defending. And this is very wrong, and we are so weak, like this mutual respect, it's not possible. If we are clear, we know that they cannot respect us if they believe what they have to believe. Their dogma has to be exposed. It has to be power strategy. of world dominion, basically. So in this way, we should really full place be right to the universities, right to whoever attacks us. I mean, they bank.
Mariaji, what you said is absolutely correct. We need to expose the people who are involved in these kind of activities. And many universities have withdrawn their support and sponsorship even from this conference. Today, Sanatan Dharma is woefully underrepresented across the world. Due to this, Hindu staff and students in universities find it hard to understand their beliefs and practices. For example, Western scholars have standardized the Nazi Hakenkreuz as the swastika. The Hindu swastika is a symbol of prosperity and has nothing to do with this Nazi symbol. But a Hindu staying outside India will never be able to openly display the swastika since it has been labeled as a symbol of hate. So now there is an event that promotes mass generalizations against Hindus. Hindu staff and Hindu students of universities will be further alienated from their faith, beliefs, and customs. Hindu students in these universities may be very well harassed for just being Hindus. Now, my next question would be to Meenakshi Sharan ji. Meenakshi ji, what do you think the propaganda is behind this online conference, namely dismantling global Hindutva? Is this type of propaganda happening for the first time? What would you like to tell us about this, Meenakshi ji?
In the first place, what right do those who wiped off the Native American race and slaughtered half the world's population have to challenge the Hindus or Hindu Dharma? What right do they have, what business do they have calling Hindus or Hindutva as radical? This propaganda isn't new, it is hundreds of years old. After successfully Christianizing America and Africa, the British realized that no barbaric aggression could destroy Bharatiya Sabhyata. And since Sanskrit was the language of our scriptures and the language that inspired all our languages and our literature, and also since it was the language, spoken language of the Hindus, especially the educated class, the first thing that they did was cut off all grants to Sanskrit colleges to finish Hindu Dharma root and branch. Things like Asiatic Society of Bengal were formed with William Jones as the president. Enormous Sanskrit manuscripts, stone and metal inscriptions, icons and coins, etc. were gathered and later destroyed. Selected group of people like Macaulay, Max Muller, Vincent Smith, Charles Wilkinson, Mackenzie, Robert Gladwell, Indians like Rammohn Roy, Dwarkanath Tagore, etc. were made members of this society. Members were supposed to find words and passages from our Shastra which were to be manipulated and distorted, and books written on the basis of that on Hindu Dharma, Hindu history and culture. 20 volumes of Asiatic research were published in just about 53 years, and apart from the annual journals. In 167 years, from 1722 till 1399, thousands of books and magazines were written with manipulated stuff. And to continue this chain reaction of writing fabricated literature for the coming generations after generations, fallacies and derogatory information was fed in the 1854 Encyclopedia Britannica, and volumes were added thereafter. So this success of this society, Asiatic society, led to its formation in Paris, in America, in Germany, in Great Britain, in Ireland, in London, with branches in Bombay, Ceylon, China, Malaysia, etc. There are already over 2 lakh volumes related to Indology. William Jones called Sanskrit a Proto-Indo-European language, which followed an imaginary Sanskrit-speaking Aryan race which settled in Iran, and later invaded Bharat, settled there, and wrote the Veds. So this is how things were distorted. William Jones prescribed methods of destroying deep-rooted Hindu dharma by fabricating a scripture glorifying Jesus, by translating a gospel in Hindu style of writing to fool Hindus, by uh, circulating or distributing this distorted material among the English-educated Hindu class. Then there's this Robert the Neboli, who claimed discovering the fifth Ved called Jesus Ved. 20 years research work of Narayan Shastri on Bharatiya history, which he collected from the Mats and Jagat Gurus, was destroyed, along with his 50,000 plus volumes of manuscripts were destroyed. Then they distorted the Mahabharata war dates. They brought it forward to 950 BC, terminating about 2200 years. Chandragupta Maurya is made a contemporary of Alexander, deducting about 2790 years. Shankaracharya's date is changed from 509 BC to 7th century AD. History of all Manvantara is squeezed within the framework of 1500 BC to fit to the Aryan invasion. Bhavishya Puran is fabricated, Manusmriti is fabricated. Hundreds of Sanskrit scholars with much higher numbers of Sanskrit books were hired to write derogatory material. Taranath Bhattacharya was paid 10,000 rupees in 1886, which is about 20 lakh rupees today, to wrongly interpret words from Veds and construct a Sanskrit to Sanskrit dictionary, a 6-volume dictionary which the Sanskrit scholars refer even today, which is called Vachaspatyam, and these were to fit to the derogatory theories of Max Muller's translation of the Veds. Then Monier William, professor of Sanskrit at Oxford University, authored a Sanskrit dictionary, wrote a book called Brahmanism and Hinduism, and since then they started calling Hindu Dharma as Hinduism. Anti-Brahmin movement was created. Robert Cladwell created Dravidian identity. Dravidian etymology dictionary was compiled by Oxford University Thomas Burrow. Afro-Dalit Dravidian movement was created. Herbert Howe Presley created fake racial categories, ethnology of India. Tension was created between Tamil literature and Indian literature by Berkeley Tamil Chair of Scholars. For full 50 years, Wendy Doniger, whose books even the American universities prescribed, has written wholesale atrocity literature, and her students influence academic mafia, and critics aren't allowed, aren't invited to the Indian literary festivals. Indology study remains with Western universities. With little or no knowledge of Sanskrit, the English-educated Hindus take these white skins claiming to be experts as true. Our developed sciences and literature was translated by every invader. Conferences like Dismantling Global Hindutva are not new. I'll just give you a few examples. A 1980 special task force that met in Thailand to analyze Hindus as targets, and Hindus were then classified into segments with the marketing strategies of strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. In a conference called Hindu Nationalism versus Islamic Jihad, which was sponsored by Epoch and International Fellowship of Evangelical Mission Theologian in 2002, a Harvard graduate, John Blank, one of the 33 whose strategy led Obama to pay $7.5 billion to Pakistan, stressed upon US to engage in the 2002 disturbances in Gujarat. In Indian Muslim Council's 2008 conference in US, Tarun Tejpal highlighted the oppression of Muslims, Dalit, tribals and Christians. Angana Chatterjee was awarded Tipu Sultan Award in this conference. An American lecture tour was organized for Tirtha. Individuals come and go, but the agenda, the goal remains the same. The agenda of earning money, of earning prestige through spreading hate propaganda remains the same. Thank you.
Yes, Meenakshi ji, you have very rightly said that thousands of books have been written with manipulated stuff by various Hindu, anti-Hindu elements. And previously also, there have been many attempts to dismantle Hindutva, but in vain. Thank you so much, Meenakshi ji, for giving us this information. Now I would like to move to Shri Sachchithananthan ji. Uh, Shri Sachchithananthan ji, as the name of this conference is Dismantling Global Hindutva, can Hindutva be ever dismantled? How can one understand the meaning of Hindutva? It is beyond any religion. Its value and importance has not only been recognized in Bharat, but in the other countries as well. What would you like to tell us about this?
Dismantling Hindutva is dismantling values. Dismantling Hindutva is dismantling minds. We in this part of the world are very much concerned about our minds and values. The culture we follow, whether in Para in Afghanistan, Indus, through all the rivers along the civilization, Ganges, Airavati, Mekong, even to Vietnam, Japan, from all over China, and we have one common factor: value built through shaping of minds. That is Hindutva. Value building civilization, making people lose their animal instinct, get rid of evil, go for better things. It is Hindutva is an evolutionary concept. Evolution towards better civilization. If somebody wants to dismantle Hindutva, they want to dismantle civilizing humans. Civilizing humans is the base on which we build all our values and cultures, all our thoughts and scriptures, all our exercises towards political, geographical, scientific. We never stopped anybody from thinking or expressing. It is because we did not have jails for Copernicus. We are able to put a lot of things which the world is benefiting from. We gave the world cipher through which I am and you are speaking to each other. It's because of cipher, the zero. Who gave it to the world? Hindutva gave it to the world. Dismantling Hindutva means dismantling zero. Do you want to do that? Now, Hindutva is not anything except civilizing humans. Now, the concept of civilizing humans is narrated through a lot of stories which have reached up to Japan, up to Iran. The stories mainly based on a conflict between Devas and Asuras. Asura is animal instinct, Deva is human instinct, bettering human instinct. If you go to Indonesia, they have a Garuda Airlines. It's a Puranic name. The currency has Lord Ganesha. The currency of Indonesia has Lord Ganesha. If you go to Kyoto in Japan, there are Shivalingas are there. In Sri Lanka, 2 weeks ago, when the Esala Pereira, the famous Candy Pereira started, the chiefs and the priests went to a Hindu temple to pray and then start the Pereira. In Thailand, the Rajaguru recites Tamil verses when the king starts his annual plowing ceremony. In the coronation also, they use Hindutva. Hindutva messages increase your civilized behavior, decrease your animal. So anything to dismantle Hindutva means dismantling human values. If somebody wants to do that, they are going back to uncivilized norms. I think we should condemn that. We should tell them that we are free thinkers. We can have atheists among us. We can have all types of worshippers. So what we are having today at the international conference on dismantling Hindutva is dismantling all values we built over period of all scientific values, geographical values, political values, family values. It was built all over through years. How to run a family, how to run a government. Chanakya wrote a book. Do you want to dismantle Chanakya? Do you want to dismantle Vatsayana? Do you want to dismantle Lord Krishna's Bhagavad Gita? So this is Hindutva. So dismantling Hindutva is dismantling the entire civilized behavior of humans, free thinkers. We never persecuted Aryabhata. Had we put him in jail like Copernicus for saying Earth was round and it's flat? What is Hindutva? Hindutva is contribution to human civilization. So dismantling Hindutva means, we are dismantling efforts towards civilizing human beings. They are the people who are organizing a conference crazy. These things have come all through. When what is Ramayana? It's a story meant for people, but the values are evils have to be got rid of, values have to be built, people become civilized. Mahabharata is same, Ramayana is same, and that is why Indonesians say we are by religion Muslims, but we are by culture Ramayana and Mahabharata. This is not the first time in human history such things happen. If Ravana was got rid of, if Shurapatma was got rid of by Muruga, if Duryodhana had his fate, these are people who come across in history is a repetition of such. Allow them to hold the conference. Meet them. Post-conference, you will meet their arguments. People are not crazy enough to just listen to somebody and accept whatever they say. We Hindus accept all types of criticism and we use it to improve human values. If they have 3 days, 4 days conference in US, it is not going to change the Hindutva agenda. It is not going to change anything in our system. We are going to continue. Yeah, they are like Ravana, they are like Duryodhana, they are like Sura, they are like people who have repeatedly tried to stop this process, devilize this world, satanize this world. So let them try. That is Hindutva. Allow them to try Hindutva. They will fail, and we will see with our own eyes that they will fail. So what we have to do is we have to strengthen our minds towards what our ancestors have done. Strengthen our minds. It is a mind situation. Hindutva, as I start, it's a mind situation, it's a value situation. It's not nothing to do with a conference that comes up for 3 days and then it cannot stop it. It can stop Hindutva. I think we are cheating ourselves. Lord Krishna is there, Muruga is there. Lord Rama is there. We have our own ways of dealing with this, and they dealt with this, and those who were devils and devilish will meet the ends where their end is going to be. They are not going to be survivors in this big human effort towards tuning up your mind and turning better values for civilized behavior. Thank you.
Yes, as Shri Sachchithananthan ji said, that it is not happening for the first time. There is a history of such anti-national and anti-Hindu activities, but any evil power neither could ever dismantle the Hindutva in the past, nor it would be able to do so in future, as Hindutva is still infinity. I request to all the viewers who have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel Hindu Jagruti, please do so and also press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. Also follow our Twitter handle @ Hindu Jagruti org. We can say the timing of this event cannot be mere coincidence. The world will be revisiting the horrors of 9/11. The Taliban have taken over Afghanistan, effectively erasing 2 decades worth of efforts by the world community to establish peace and normal life. The timing of this event appears to be a deliberate effort to deflect the world's attention from real issues while degrading over a billion followers of a peaceful religion that teaches peace, love, compassion, and inclusivity. By throwing around terms such as Hindu fascism, the event actually attacks Hinduism, which has given the world the concept of Vasudev Kutumbakam. The word is my family. When the organizers talk of oppression, the event seeks to gloss over the fact that Hindu scriptures only have chants that appeal for peace and prosperity to all. I appeal to all the viewers to come together and oppose such anti-national and anti-Hindu online conference. Hindu American Foundation and Hindu Janajagruti Samiti are tirelessly working against this anti-Hindu global conference. After protests at international level, many universities have already withdrawn their sponsorship for this conference. Hindu Jagriti Samiti is also conducting a signature campaign. Please sign it and share with all the people known to you. You can get the link to sign the petition from chat box. I would also request to all the viewers to please enter your name, contact number, and name of the city you belong to for participating in the work of Hindu Rashtra carried out by the Hindu Jan Jagriti Samiti. We are so grateful to all of you for participating in today's special talk organized by Hindu Jan Jagriti Samiti. And with this, I conclude today's discussion with a prayer and gratitude at the holy feet of Bhagwan Shri Ganesh and Shri Krishna. Namaskar to everyone.